Okay. There's our Jace. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we don't target us. Hello everyone, it's the Grey Goose, and today is Saturday, which means mono, 4 or 5 color card deck for us. So I went ahead and I said, screw it, let's go ahead and get the Kethis Combo over with. If you play Historic at all, you're bound to run up against it. Sometimes you see it in Standard too, but overall it's a lot more powerful in Historic. So let me break down the deck tech here for you, and then we'll go right into the gameplay. Alright, so for the deck, there's 4 of the Mox Amber. These are part of your combo pieces. They help give you 1 mana of any color among the legendary creatures or planeswalkers you control. So you end up having one of each of the 4 colors of the deck here, like blue, black, white, green, for example. And so you have to remember that whatever is on the board is what this will tap for as far as options go. So you have to have a legendary creature on the board or planeswalker, or it'll be useless. One of Gilded Goose just helps to be an early chump blocker, make some food, give you life, and also helps fix your mana if you need it. Got 2 of the Witching Well. That's just cheap for 1 blue to scry 2, and if things go late and you have mana to spend, it gives you 2 cards, so that's pretty cool. It's also an artifact, which is useful in casting your Emery, because she costs 1 less for each artifact you control. Diligent Excavator, she's basically your best part of the whole combo if you can get her down early. She enables you with every legendary spell you cast to put 2 cards in the graveyard for either you or your opponent. So basically, that's your win condition. You get either your opponent or yourself down to 0 cards to draw. If you get yourself to 0, you think, well, yeah, you're going to lose. Well, that's, you already have Jace, Wielder of Mystery, sideboarded in, and if you would draw a card while he's on the board and your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Generally, game 1, your best option is just to mill your opponent out. And Fibblethip the Lost, kind of decent. It's 2 CMC for a 1/1, but it's a cantrip, so that's pretty nice. Orzhov the Multifarious, 2 CMC for a 1/3, so a decent blocker in and of himself, plus he gets to surveil 1 when you get him down on the battlefield. But really his best benefit is A, he's a legendary, but B, he can become a copy of any creature in your graveyard. So, and also it'll be considered a legendary. So you can go back and change him into a Diligent Excavator, for example, to enable you to continue to put more cards into graveyards even faster. Emery, Lurker of the Loch, she's just really awesome. Put her on the battlefield and 4 of your cards go into the graveyard. So she's great acceleration for what we're trying to do. And generally you can usually cast her for cheaper than the 3 CMC. So however many artifacts you control, like say for example your Witching Well, that's an artifact, your Mox Amber, that's an artifact. And then every turn that she's able to tap, you're able to tap her to find an artifact card in your graveyard. So maybe you sacrifice your Witching Well, or usually you're just trying to find back your Mox Amber. Kethis the Hidden Hand, of course this deck wouldn't be possible without him. So he's the guy that lets all of your legendary spells that you have cast for 1 less. So he's great in that he enables you to combo out pretty easily by himself, and also his second clause is what wins the game. You exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard, and then until the end of the turn, each legendary card in your graveyard gains, you may play this from your graveyard. So essentially, once you start getting a few legendaries in the graveyard, you go ahead and you activate this. It can be activated the turn he comes down. It doesn't have to tap or anything. And then you exile 2 legendaries. Maybe the Tamiyo's too high to cast or something. Or maybe you really don't need a Teferi right now. And then you're able to cast all of your other legendaries, but they're not free. You still have to pay for them. But generally with the Diligent Excavator, being able to put more in the graveyard, and your free Mox Ambers, right? Plus they gain you mana. That's how the combo goes off infinitely, essentially. So you gotta have at least 1 Kethis on the board. You gotta have at least usually 2 Mox Ambers. One in either your hand or the battlefield, and then 1 in the graveyard at least. And then you're able to pop off infinitely, either milling your opponent out our best shot game 1, or potentially using Jace, Wielder of Mysteries for game 2 or 3 to mill ourselves as an option. Teferi Time Raveler, he's just great in general. He gives you tempo, gives you card draw. The spell clause doesn't necessarily do much for us in this deck, but he's just great for what you can do with him. With Kethis, allowing you to cast your spells for 1 less cheaper, he's essentially just a white and a blue to bounce something and draw you a card. So you could bounce an Oath of Kaya back, for example, get maximum value off of that, or even a Gilded Goose, or a Fibblethip to cantrip again, or Embry to give you more cards in your graveyard. Oath of Kaya, she's great for 3 CMC to be able to ping something down and give you health. And generally, you're going to be weakest against the aggro decks out there, and there's quite a few. So having her around is just really great. And it's legendary, so you can cast it with Kethis. Tamio, 3 of, pretty good. She's 4 CMC. When you get her on the board, she has a pretty good amount of loyalty. You can either find something immediately back from the graveyard. You might need that last piece to get the combo going, or you can use her to help put more in the graveyard and try and find that one piece you're looking for in particular. Urza's Ruinous Blast. This is really good, but it's also very hard to cast. It's 5 CMC. It's a sorcery. It exiles all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So that is good, but it also has its caveats here. For example, it will kill your Diligent Excavator because she is not legendary. It will kill your Witching Well, your Gilded Goose. And it's a legendary sorcery, which you really don't see of anywhere else besides this deck these days, at least from what I can tell. Legendary sorcery means you must have a legendary creature or planeswalker on the board. So you can't even have like a legendary enchantment like Oath of Kaya. It has to be one of these creatures or planeswalkers. It can't even be the Mox Amber. So you have to have that on the board to even cast it. Plus, it only hits the non-legendary permanents of your opponents. So basically, if they have any planeswalker down, or things like Questing Beast or Yorvo or whatever, those won't be affected either. So it's kind of only good in certain matchups, but certain matchups that it is good, it's very powerful, especially with the exile clause. Some decks specifically want to get things back from the graveyard, or they can't be destroyed, like an Orzhov Vampire, but the exile clause will work against them. For lands, we have 24, and I feel that's pretty good. We have your shock lands, we have some check lands, and a couple scries. We gotta have a combination of all these, though, to get the 4 mana color base down to be able to play it effectively. And then for our sideboard, like I said, we're pretty weak, particularly against aggro. So that's why you want to have at least about 3 of these in. Noxious Grasp for all the green and occasional white you see these days. Ashiok. Ashiok can help both accelerate our combo and get rid of things of theirs. Say they're they're a graveyard heavy deck. Well, you put your Ashiok in after sideboarding and exile everything that they have. But also, it lets either you or your opponent put 4 cards in your graveyard. The exile clause only happens against your opponents. So you could put more in your graveyard. She's essentially like a Tamio for you for 1 less CMC. But with you don't really get to search for something in particular. It's just feeding the graveyard. 2 of Unmoored Ego. There's a lot of decks that rely on a lot more narrow combo than ours. Think, for example, like Nexus of Fate, or even like a Fires of Invention you might call. But anything you call of that, then they have to exile all from hand or from graveyard. Just 1 of Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle. It's a pretty highly costed card, but it is very powerful. Not to mention you can use Lazav to cast him back if he gets in your graveyard. But for 4 CMC, you get a 2/2 flyer legendary creature. And whenever you cast a historic spell, so that's any of your artifacts or your legendaries, you get to return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And a lot of our combo is relying on 3 or less CMC creatures. So this is very powerful. It's a slow card, but if you can pull him off, he gives you insane value. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, we already talked about him, but essentially he lets you draw a card, he lets you graveyard cards, and he gives you the win condition that if you want to mill yourself out, you can win that way also. Lyra Dawnbringer, she's really clutch against aggro decks in general. I almost would consider putting 2 of in the sideboard because she's just so good. If they don't have an answer for her, you can essentially win the game just having 1 of her down by herself. Another one of the Urz's Ruinous Blast. Like I said, this is really good, but it's only good against certain decks. If it's Planeswalkers heavy, you wouldn't put this in. But if it's a bunch of random creatures, especially non-legendaries, if you're not seeing Questing Beast or Yorvo, etc., you'd want to put this in. 2 of Tolsmere, Friend of the Wolves, 5 CMC. Basically, it's a 3/3 and a 3/3, and one of the 3/3s gets to fight. The turn it comes down if you want. Plus, you get 3 life. It's overall just to help you stall out a little bit more against like insane aggro decks or something. Alright, so our Kethis Combo deck, we are on the draw. Looks like a decent enough hand. Got a turn 2, turn 3, leading up to a Urz's Ruinous Blast maybe. Maybe a control-y type deck for once. We'll see how it goes. Wow. Yeah, that looks good. Ah, never mind. Not control at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. We can start getting stuff in our grave ASAP. I'm assuming he's going to have some sort of removal. I don't know, maybe he's just pure aggro with this vampire deco. Right. Not 1, but 2 anthems. Very good stuff here. I could chump block with him, so I would rather. Let's get him down. And then let's go ahead and flow tap in that. I don't think I'm playing Kethis this next turn. If we survive up to cast the Urz's Ruinous Blast, we're going to be in a better spot. The problem is he might have Sorin, and Sorin would not get affected, and Sorin is also incredible at getting back those cards. So right now I'm just hoping on surviving. I'm not even going to worry about the graveyard yet. I guess I'll just chump block with a Fibblethip and take 3. I can survive the 3. Yeah. Good thing the Ruinous Blast also works with the Untitled Vanguardo. So I have to shock in for something here, but what? Emery puts 4 in the grave. This dude, yeah, Kethis would let us chump block technically. So let's put him down. We'll put him down. And we'll be able to chump block. If he has 1 more anthem though, we're in pretty dire straits. Technically I have the Emery down, that's pretty cool. Also, 3, 4, where's our good ones? Where's our Moxes, man? Next, no, and alright. So we might as well chump with the Diligence since we're gonna Ruinous Blast. Hey, look. Cool. So we need someone to survive here. To be able to cast this Ruinous Blast. We need a legendary. Who do we want to survive though? I think the answer is going to be... We have a Tamio. I think we're okay. So let's just go ahead and get rid of... There we go. Alright. So, with the Ruinous Blast, unfortunately he didn't play the Adonto there, which is... very lame. Very lame. I don't think they have Hasty Boys. Let's get in for 1. Alright. About got him. Yeah, see, that's where the problem lies. The Adonto Vanguard, which we are Oh, but he can survive it. Assuming no other anthems. But, guess what? We killed off 3 of his freaking anthems already. Which is absurd. Let's go ahead. Let's keep pushing here. While we can. Like, make him take a little damage. That's cool. We get to put more in the grave, right? What? Oh, this is not a Diligent. I knew that. So we're skipping. He can chump block once again unless, right? Unless more anthems. Phyrexian Arena. Gosh dang, man. That's insane. So we're holding him off. What do we have here, though? Let me stop at his end step. My turn. What do we have here? I think we just need to dig for a Mox. Let's just dig. Right?
Let us see if your talents are worth cataloging.
Alright, so he's digging for something.
I noticed this somewhere.
Alright, that's cool. We can play the Goose, I think, here. Alright, excellent. I don't think I have any real plays. I gotta wait for that Mox. Alright. So with the Tomio down, that's feeling pretty good here. Fibblethip would be nice to cast. I might end up doing that, honestly. He can't take an infinite amount of damage here with his Adonto. Well, that's lame, isn't it? Mox?
I think you will
Where
find
are
my
you?
notes helpful.
Alright, move. What? Do I have a Lazov? No, I don't, do I? I really don't want to leave all this mana sitting up here. I could cast like a Fibblethip. I think we're hitting critical mass. We're not there yet though, huh? We're almost there, but not quite. Alright, so what's he getting up to? He's getting up to some spooky cards here and high mana. I feel like we're about to be punished this turn. Because if he dirtles much longer, I think we're okay. I don't think that's going to be good enough for him. Alright, we'll make a food. And we'll use a food. Because why not? It may definitely come into play here of being necessary. That's unfortunate. So what is there something from the grave that I want to pluck out here? You know, that would be ridiculous, but I could Urza's. That's a reset though. I don't know if I need that yet, do I? What about a Diligent? Let's get a Diligent. Okay. This might be all we need to pop off, honestly. Let's tap for green. And cast it. Alright. There's a Lazov, that's pretty cool. Alright, so Mox Amber, let's put more in the grave. I can tap-a-doodle-doo her to get a Mox. So now I can cast, right? And I think I'm gonna. So we're gonna exile 2. Things like Tomio, I already have one right here. I don't need. Kethis, submit the 2. Let's see, what do we got here? Okie dokies. Let's play our Fibblethip. He's a chump blocker. We get to draw. We get to put more in the grave. Excavator. I could shock that in, I guess, technically. But I'm trying to hold back. Let's play Teferi. That seems good, right? Legendary. Bounce back his 4/4. Drawing more. So, Mox Amber. More in the grave. More in the grave. And let's see here. I could do a 2. Do I want to do that for Teferi? So let's white, right? Let's white here. I think we need to white. And then we're going to Teferi by doing this. We're just going to slow him down. Maybe we could 3, 4, 5. We could kill him with the Kaya.
Sorry, I'm late.
Holy crap, we could kill him with the Kaya.
That's more like it.
Hey, witching well. Let's just keep it going, I guess, huh? So let's get rid of the Orzhov. I think he's gonna be slow. Yeah, we had the combo in that it was gonna eventually just be enough that we bounce them all back right there. And just attack plus Oath of Kaya to the face. Not to mention could mill him out. So we're going up against some pretty big aggro. Legion's End seems really good, especially against those Orzhov Vanguards. These guys are black and white, no gray. Lyra's really good here. I'm gonna slide in Jace as a win condition since we know he's not gonna have like a unmoored ego. We'll get rid of the Gilded Goose, just doesn't provide enough. Same thing with the Witching Well. Let's go ahead and get rid of 2 Fibblethip. They're really just chump blockers and draw 1. They don't provide quite enough for us. I'm hoping with the 3 Legion's End that we sided in, we'll be doing decent here. Well, this opening hand is crap. Yeah, ooh, this'll work. Oh, yeah, well. Do I get rid of Fibble or Orzhov? I'm pretty sure it's Fibble. Or Orzhov, I mean. Get more card draw. So he's leading with tempo here, which is unfortunate. I think... Question becomes how aggressive does he get out here turn 2? The Daunto Vanguard. Those are absolutely scary, but, right? But, do I need to, huh? I think I'm going to go ahead and scry. Yeah, let's do that. Massive graveyard potential here. Too bad the Legion's End doesn't do anything for it. So the Sorin is scary for sure, but like I'm going to be exiling these guys so he can't get them back anyways. The problem becomes when he puts something bigger than 2 CMC down, because then we're really kind of screwed here. Alright, let's get a blue down. Let's get a green too for... Well, we have one anyways, whatever. So what's he going to play here? Wow, he literally just has Sorin's card draw and whatever that card is. That's incredible. So that's scary. But he kind of slowed down there, didn't he? We're going to be able to play 2 Diligent Excavators this turn. How much is he? He's a 2. Alright. Yeah, we just get rid of him. It's fine. So now we're in trouble. We're out of our Legion's End for the time being. He's drawing minimum 2 cards a turn. He has double Sorin. You know, we could pump fake that we're gonna attack the dude. Alright, he has literally no vampires.
What a mess
I think the play is just ramp hard for graveyard, right? And I don't want to necessarily shock myself in here if I don't have to. But the Kethis is a little bit more of a threat here than the Fibblethip. But I need the card draw. I need the draw and the graveyard, so... This lets me not shock, plus I'm able to Kethis then. Next turn for no shocks. Slam into the Sorin so he can't do 3 damage to me by sacrificing a vampire. Well, he's got to be feeling pretty chipper about that, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So we have 1 Mox Amber, which is pretty dope. Just 1 though. Those are both legendary, so it doesn't matter. 3, 4, 5. Here's how we do it. Put the... Oh, that stinks. No. Okay. Yeah, that stinks. All right. So he just disrupted the combo pretty hard there, didn't he? Didn't expect for him to have the ritual suit, did we? He might have won the match off of that alone. We had a pretty good rush out the beginning there. Oh my gosh, look at this dude. I guess Phyrexian Arena is a pretty big thing. Is he gonna sack something and deal 3? But then I get to attack right through, like... Whatever. Okay.
Time for a drink.
Lazov's pretty interesting. He could change. How many legendaries do I have in the graveyard? There's a Tamio. Not enough, is there? I think I'm dead though. I don't know. He's still got to do quite a bit of damage to me, so we'll see. So Phyrexian Arena is really good, especially with Sorens, like with the life gain and stuff. Yeah, that's really good. Alright, so what's he gonna look for? Haunt of Hightower. Oh my god, I love that card. I've never seen anyone play it before though. I love that card. It's a buy a box promo from, what's that, Guild of Ravnica? That's so awesome. I think it says when you attack. Yeah, I have to discard a card. So that's really cool. I think he's gonna sacrifice to deal one of the combos. So he's a 4/4, he can push through and then maybe sacrifice as well. I mean, he definitely could here. I can take the damage, which is fine. All we care about is lethal here. So make him make the tough choices. Alright, so what's he gonna kill, huh?
Your lifeblood is sweeter than wine.
Go on face. Face is the place. I think he can bring something back from the graveyard. Yep. There we go.
I demand servitude.
My turn. So I can be something from the graveyard, aka Diligent Excavator, which is 2 CMC. There we go. That's pretty good actually. That might allow us to survive a second longer, just 1 second. Let's go ahead and bring Mox back, right? Put Mox down. Okay, Kaya. Alright, let's get rid of Death Touch Lifelinker, huh? Oh, whoops. Graveyard, sure. Do I get rid of the Anthem buddy or the Death Touch buddy? I guess him. It's when multiple Anthems stack up that it gets insane. So let's just try and go off here. We don't have much of a choice. Get rid of this and this. Those are our highest costing ones. Let's see if we can do it, guys. Mox. That's good. Kethis isn't terrible. 3. This puts one in the grave too, though. Let's go ahead and try this first, right? So we're putting him in the grave. There's another Mox, good. Which we want to keep the guy that can theoretically attack. We're getting rid of 1, 2 Mox. Or are we getting rid of 1 in Kethis? Yeah. Okay. So we can put this down, and then we can put 2 more in the grave. Emery. Ooh, Emery's something special here, isn't she? I guess we just keep burning through what we can. Legendary, good. Doesn't matter. Slowly taking the guys out, the homeboys. Legendary. What are we getting rid of? I think Lazov is definitely too slow here. And Teferi. Is it Teferi or Oath? I think Oath. Okay. So now we have options again. Playing the Emery is really good here. Yep. That's 6 in our graveyard. There's 1 legendary. 2, 3 in the graveyard, legendary. So let's make it a blue. I think we won. White.
I am not going to sit this.
There's someone we want to bounce back, maybe like our Emery, right? She costs 1 less for each artifact you control.
I have a plan.
Alright. Let's get rid of Tamiyo's. They're too expensive, I think, for our reach here. This is good. Wait a minute, how many left? Just 6. I need to get Jace out ASAP, don't I? I need to go for blue, 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 don't I? Don't I? Blue. Blue. And then I think we cast it 1 more time. Get rid of the Kethis. Get rid of the Oath. Okay. There's our Jace. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we don't target us there because he has to be on the battlefield to win. Okay, that's Kethis. Sorry, I wasn't talking much, but it's a combo that you have to really focus. At least I think. It's pretty simple in the execution, but it's all about just getting to that very right instance to just be able to go infinite, essentially. So yeah, it's an interesting deck, and in a way I think it's hard to interact against, but obviously beatdown decks can smash through you without too much issue. And if you like this video, if you're new to the channel, maybe consider liking or subscribing. I make a random daily deck tech video every day. Catch you guys tomorrow.